What's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Realignment Dynasty here on NCAA 14, featuring that college football revamp, of course, as we are out here, man. We are down to our final quarter of the regular season, and we're doing okay, 5-4 so far. We have lost 2 of our last 3 games. So this would be nice to get ourselves back on track, and I think we got a good opponent to do it. We are taking on the Kent State Golden Flashes in this one, and on paper, I feel like we should match pretty well with them. We're B's across the board with that B- defense, but Kent State, they're just a C overall squad, C+ offense, C defense to go with it as well. And despite that, Lee Corso is going to be rocking with them, but I have a feeling that's just because our offense has just been so horrible over the course of this season so far. So hopefully this is an opportunity for us to go ahead and get ourselves back on track, get some confidence for our offense, because man, we desperately need it right now. It has not been pretty by any means. So that being said, I hope you guys are excited for today's episode. We are on the warpath to 2,000 subscribers, man. So if you want to join me on that journey, do me a favor and smack that like button. Hit that subscribe button with the noti bell as well if you do happen to be brand new. And with that being said, let's go ahead and see if we can turn things around against the Golden Flashes of Kent State. Let's do it. Alright, boys, let's go ahead and get this game officially underway, as we'll go ahead and get things going here. 2nd and 7 to start this game, as our ball actually gets tipped at the line of scrimmage. We are trying to attack right down the middle of the field, and it didn't shake out like that. So 3rd and long where we are right now. Not where I wanted to be, but it is what it is. As we throw on 3rd and 7, we find a receiver down on the opposite hash. It's Ronnie Harvey who makes the critical catch. That's going to allow us to keep this drive alive, as we'll go ahead and try to run it on the Golden Flashes. Hopefully we can come out here and get our own way here today, because you saw this, the overall ratings for Kent State. They don't stack very well on paper. Let's see if we can take advantage of that as we try to run for the first down marker. But Anthony Williams can't pick it up, and he's going to be dropped behind that line of scrimmage. And now Kent State is going to go ahead and take over. We did pin them pretty reasonably deep. We got them inside the 20-yard line. And look at this. Miller stiff-arming and trucking over multiple defenders. That should have been a loss, but it did not shake out that way, though. As now 1st and 10 yet again. Mills gonna go ahead, run it up the gut, and they take advantage of the big massive holes that we have on defense, and they're almost across midfield already. This could very well do that, as Mills stiff arms yet another defender. He's still going, and Jimmy Mills able to get a 19-yard rush there. As the drive continues for the Golden Flashes, just tremendous success on the ground. When did I hear this before? And now a 2nd and short coming up. As now we'll see if Kent State, they're going to run the football once again. We do a little bit of better job this time, but it still leads to yet another first down on the ground. As now 1st and 10 coming. Will they run it again? No, it's a play action. And this time we do manage to go ahead and get to this quarterback, as we force him to a 2nd and 10. Butler this time looking downfield, trying to get the touchdown, but it's going to end up being broken up by the true freshman, Jason Wade. And that does make it 3rd and long. We'll see what Butler has. Dropping back, and we go ahead and lit him up in the backfield. That takes them outside of, well, maybe outside of field goal range. They are going to still try for this field goal attempt here, as the kick is going to be up, and it's going to be no good. It had the distance, but it was wide to the left. As we check in on a studio update real quick before we go back into the game action. And Kentucky was actually put on upset alert, but they will escape against Vanderbilt 41-35. So we go ahead and jump into our next possession. We had some things going for us, but we did not finish the drive. We'll see if we can change that here as Young makes the catch, makes the man miss, and he's going to make the scoreboard operators do a little bit of work here as Ben Young gets a very nice 69-yard touchdown. And us Michigan State Spartans are going to go ahead and strike first in this game. We will take a 7-0 lead, and just check out the move that Ben Young makes right there. He certainly put that defensive back on some skates. So we'll see if Kent State can respond after the long touchdown pass. We'll see. Butler dropping back, throwing it quickly. It ends up being falling onto the ground. Seemed like there was a little scramble to football, but it'll be incomplete. As now, 2nd and 10 coming up. Williams taking the handoff, actually getting a decent chunk of yardage right there. Sam Williams with the carry. And it sets up 3rd and short for the Golden Flashes. They did not get their first 3rd down conversion. We'll see if they can change their fortunes as Butler's going to dump it off to Sam Williams. And he will do just enough to get that 1st down. Fresh set of chains for the Golden Flashes as they'll go back to what was successful for them on the previous drive. And that is their running game. And that is still the case here as Jimmy Mills almost picking up that 1st down. Very close to the marker as they will go with the speed option to the left. And Jimmy Mills is able to receive the pitch at the price of Jared Butler taking a shot. And now 1st and 10 again. Butler looking over the middle, trying to get it out to Sam Williams. But this time our linebackers were all over it. And now 2nd and 10 coming. Butler trying to pass again. This time he's actually going to go ahead and scramble out of the pocket there. And Paul Butler is going to do just enough to move the sticks. As that will go ahead and put the Golden Flashes on the verge of field goal range. As we'll go ahead and see them try to run it with Jimmy Mills, who stiff arms one of our defensive linemen. We got to get that strength up, big fella. You can't be getting stiff-armed by running backs, not like that. Oh, that's disrespectful. As we'll go ahead and at least get a little bit of revenge. Might have gotten away with a little bit of a face mask there, but for now, Kevin Wood will be awarded a TFL. And it's going to force 3rd and long, and that's going to force him to pass this football. Butler looking over the middle, but this time we had a gang of defenders waiting to tackle him, and their kicker is actually going to go ahead and make the field goal this time. Golden Flashes are officially on that board. As we'll go ahead and get us going here on 1st and 10. We had a long touchdown pass on the last drive. But let's see if we can put together a little bit more methodical of a drive here as we'll run it up the gut with Anthony Williams able to make a linebacker miss there and get to that 2nd level. So 1st and 10 for the Spartans as we go with play action. Gray dropping back, going to try to throw it on the run and going to be able to complete that pass over to Corey Ross, who picks up that gain of 7. Is now 2nd and short coming up here. Gray dropping, looking over the right-hand side, shakes off one defender and will get another, and Ben Young, as that will go ahead and wrap up the 1st quarter of action. Early on, we got ourselves a little bit of a lead, only up by a few points, however. So we go ahead and jump into the 2nd quarter of action. We got a nice long drive going here. We'll see if we can keep it up as Anthony Williams, way to keep the feet moving forward there. As now that's a gain of 6. As now 2nd and 4 coming up. Gray dropping back to pass. He's looking, gonna get it off to Aaron Ford, who will make the catch and pick up the 1st down, even though that was a little bit of a check down for us. As we go ahead and throw again here on 1st and 10. Gray dropping back, going to dump it off to Aaron Ford, who's going to go ahead and keep chugging along. And that will be a gain of 7. as we go with a 3rd and inches situation. Will we pick up the first down? Kent State looks like we're going to try to load up this box a little bit, and we're going to be able to get to the inside. They had the bodies, but they did not go ahead and put them in the right place. So it keeps the chains moving for us as Kent State, they go send yet another blitz as we try to get it off on the crossing pattern, but it actually ends up being dropped there. So now 3rd and long for us here as we go with trips to the left. Gray looking over the middle. We got Aaron Ford, and that linebacker is simply too small to go after our tight end like that. And that is going to be the 2nd passing touchdown of the game for Andrew Gray. And a commanding lead early here in Kent, Ohio. A 14-3 advantage. But the Spartans of Michigan State here, we forced that 3 and out so we can extend this lead even further. And the way that we're starting this drive, this, I believe, 4th drive of the game, we're looking pretty good so far already in Kent State territory. As now, Gray drops back again, gets it out to Ronnie Harvey on the perimeter. Nobody accounting for him as he was in zone coverage. So now back in the red zone once again. We came away with a touchdown last time. Gray looking over the middle, getting it to the tight end, Aaron Ford. And he will get us forward for another first down. It's a first down party here in the Cleveland area as Williams trying to not get the first down, but the touchdown almost got it in there. Just going to be a couple of yards shy. So we're going to try to go and maybe scramble with Andrew Gray as all the receivers are actually covered on this, but we will be able to go ahead and get ourselves into the end zone. Touchdown, Spartans. And we will continue to improve this commanding lead that we got. Make that 21-3. And we'll see if Butler and this Golden Flash offense, can they respond? But looks right. No! Butler shakes that off. I thought for sure that was going to be a loss there. And it didn't happen, man. That's crazy. Is now 2nd and 4 after that good speed option by Paul Butler, but he can't escape pressure. Now it's coming up right up the middle of the field. Is now 3rd and 11 coming up here as Butler dropping back, looking over the middle, gets it up to Wilson, and Joshua Wilson is going to make his very first catch of the game. And it's a big one either, as it now gives Kent State at least a little bit longer with the football, but on 3rd and 15, just not enough space to do anything there. So we got 1:18 left to play here in the first half, and it gives us the opportunity to try to go out and try to get some more points on the board before we go ahead and jump into that halftime locker room. 2nd and 6 coming up. Gray facing the blitz, gets it out to Robertson, and Robertson will be going up for the first down. As now 1st and 10 on the ball quick. We get it out to Corey Ross, who actually makes that catch. He would not make that play earlier in the season, but he has certainly improved in that regard. And speaking of Corey Ross, finding his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Spartans and Michigan State. We take that commanding lead. Our probably, if I had to guess, best first half that we have played here in this entire season. And that is how it's going to shake out. We take a 28-3 lead at halftime. Let's go ahead and check on these custom coaches. So now that we made it into halftime, we'll go ahead and take a quick look at one of the scores around the NCAA. Specifically, take a look at how Coach Jones is doing in his first year at Mississippi State, and it continues to be a brutal experience as this team went on the road against the number 19 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide, and they end up losing 31-20 being that final score. So in Justin Jones' first season as the head coach of Mississippi State, They fall to 2-8 on the year. Meanwhile, Alabama continues to try to sneak their way into the college football playoff, as they are now 8-2 overall with a 5-1 conference record. So second half action officially underway here, as Kent State actually does go ahead and get the football to start the second half, as Butler will drop back the pass here, and oh, we read that. We actually read that. We just couldn't react it fast enough. Got a little bit caught with the eye candy that was going on behind me. Could have been a user interception, but you know, we're not exactly like NCAA gods in game plays, so outside of playing that defensive line, we sweet on that D line, but you know, other than that, you know, we not that sweet in coverage, right? But 2nd and 16, we almost get the interception right there. That was Randy Bell. He had the ball in his hands, and he just chooses to drop it, man. That's tough. As now 3rd and 16, should be able to get him off the field. No shot, bro. No way that pass is actually getting completed like that. That's not happening for me. At least that's for sure. I don't know how good Butler is, but I know he's not that good. That's some 99 stuff. And if Kent State, you know, what if he was a 99 overall quarterback, they would not be this bad record-wise, right? But anyways, Butler's going to try to go ahead. He's actually going to break a tackle here, but he's going to throw an interception in the back of the end zone. So all is forgiven, but EA, they try to cheese us a little bit there. They try to give us a little cheese, but, you know, we got a little bit more on our burger. So now we go ahead and get back on the field with our offense. Really good first half. So we'll see if we can keep that up and maybe, just maybe, get some of our backups in and give them a little bit of playing time to work with, you know, give our younger players that are on this team some game experience, so that we can go ahead and, you know, have them some game experience for when they do need to step up for our program in the future. But in the meantime, got to pick up this 3rd down first. Trips to the right as Gray. We got a man open downfield, and we complete it to Ben Young. We do end up getting caught from behind, but it does end up being a 53-yard reception, and it goes for an absolutely massive gain. As now 3rd and goal. Gray gets it out to the left-hand side, out to Ronnie Harvey, but it is going to go ahead, and it's going to be short of the goal line. So we did have to go ahead and settle for the field goal there, but we will go ahead and respond by getting a free and out against Kent State on the next possession. And look at Aaron Ford go, breaking a couple of tackles and making his way into the end zone, hitting with the get off me, little boy. And that man is certainly going to be gone like a girl in a country song after he shakes off not 1, but 2 tackles as well. Ronnie Harvey there. Wish they would do the little high five thing, because I would see that occasionally, you know, in real life. Would love to see that in the next EA college football game, assuming that it still ends up getting released next summer, as of the recording of this video, and, you know, as this video is posted, you know, like a year from now. But anyways, that being said, offense is still looking good. We're picking up right where we left off, to be honest with you. I just want to see if we can finish this drive strong so that we can go ahead and get those backups in now and, you know, go ahead and sim to the end, because you already know I don't like to play in these blowouts like too terribly long. You know, I want to get up out of here, you know, so I can show you guys some other things throughout the dynasty, as we now have over 350 yards of offense through the air, and it'll be icing on the cake if we can add a touchdown to that, as we'll throw over the middle, get it out to Justin Ross, and that'll be the last thing that we do in the 3rd quarter. We're heading out here, man. Alright, boys, so we come out here with a no-nonsense mentality, and we looked the best in the entire season so far. I mean, able to get the backups in once again, that feels really great, and it was really sparked by a 21-0 lead in the 2nd quarter when we won that quarter, and then just cruised all the way in, man. 17-0 in the 2nd half. What we did against Kent State nothing short of brilliant, our best game that we played this entire season. And as for our quarterbacks, they looked really good too, particularly Andrew Gray, who did a really good job of bouncing back. He ends up going 21 for 24 for 365 yards, 4 touchdowns and no interceptions, his best game of the season. Also got a chance to see Billy Hammond, lead the team in the fourth quarter and looked pretty good. 3 for 7, 26 yards, a touchdown to go with it on top of that. Now, as for the ground game, we didn't run the football too terribly often, but Anthony Williams looked good with 18 carries for 81 yards. Andrew Gray was the guy that ends up finding the end zone for us, though. While his stats aren't impressive on the ground, he did add on another 7 points. As for the receivers, not a lot of diversity in our receiving core here today, but Corey Ross, he continues to get better as the season goes on. He ends up with 6 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown, including a big touchdown pass in the end of the first half. Aaron Ford, though, was that dude today. He ends up with 5 catches, 80 yards, and 2 touchdowns to go with it. They had no answer for the 6'3" tight end from Rogers, Arkansas. Ben Young also has a touchdown. He had the best out of all these receivers, 5 for 157, and is really looking like an NFL prospect. And then Perry Robertson, our backup tight end, ends up with 3 catches, 25 yards, and of course, yet another touchdown. On the defensive side of the football, this defense was absolutely lights out today, as Ryan Herring has continued to impress here in the second half of the season. 10 tackles, 9 of which were solo, no TFLs or anything like that, but he was flying all over the field. Randy Bell was second in tackles, though. He ends up with 7 of them, so all of which were solo. As for forcing pressure on this quarterback, we had a bunch of different dudes get to this guy today to create pressure. Kenneth Wood got a sack. Daryl Hawthorne got a sack. Bo Marshall, Mike Clark, Anthony Adams, Cedric Presley, and of course, I can't forget about the guy who forced a turnover in the back of the end zone, Anthony Adams, straight out of East Lansing, Michigan, playing for his hometown team. Got that interception that prevented Kent State from getting any touchdowns on the board. But since I didn't really get the chance to get a full game in because it got so out of hand, I do want to go ahead and see if there was any custom players that were recently submitted that did end up signing on the dotted line officially, and we do indeed see a couple of decisions. First and foremost, we go down to Dallas, Texas, where Casey Carmichael, the 3-star quarterback from Dallas, ends up signing with the SMU Mustangs, so going to play with the hometown team. He's 6'7", 195 pounds as well. SMU actually being the only scholarship offer. Looks like he is more of a pocket passer quarterback. We'll see if he lives to that prototypical NFL style. As for the other custom player that did end up signing, we got 4-star tight end Ronnie Cooper. Now, Ronnie Cooper was originally enrolled in the IMG Academy, but for his senior year, his mom was fighting cancer, so he did end up returning to Cleveland, Ohio to be closer to his mom. Still, with all that turmoil, he's a 4-star guy, 6'5", 225 pounds, and is going to play big-time college football for the Trojans of USC. A huge pickup for USC. 4-star guy. He's got NFL size and could play day one if need be. But with that being said, guys, we only have a couple more games left in this regular season, and we have a chance to play spoiler, as next episode we actually play against one of our secondary rivals as we go on the road to play against Indiana, who's number 2 in the country. We match up pretty well with him, for the fact that they are a ranked team and deep in the hunt for the college football playoff. We'll see if we can ruin that for them, but I will leave that for the next episode, though. If you enjoyed today's content, though, in the meantime, I need you guys to go ahead and do me a huge favor. Smack that like button for me, and then also hit that subscribe button for me, as well, as we are on the warpath to 2,000 subscribers. So if you want to join me on that, join the hype train. hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and with that, this is John J Gaming on the mic signing off. I'm hoping you're all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.